Hi, welcome back. Back in my original setup here because the lighting is so much better in here today. And I really wanted to showcase a routine that has been exceptional, phenomenal for my skin lately. And of course, this is what I had scheduled to film today. My face has been as red as a tomato on most days. It has been so irritated and inflamed with the winter season approaching. And each year I have to switch things up and find the products that work best, give me good coverage, but still look natural with my skin. And I had this scheduled to film today, and today is probably the best my skin has looked in months. It's like not even that red at all. So I'm just gonna have to like insert some photos so you like don't think I'm just like dog face lying to you right now, or like one of those people that's like, oh, my skin's like so sensitive and red and then nothing's there. You know what I mean? Trust me, it has been a battle. And I've been playing around with different things, and I just found this combo. I shared it on Instagram the other day. But I didn't really go into detail. So this is a routine that has just looked really flawless on my skin. It's set well even with like my dry textured areas, and it's covered my redness. And I wanted to share it today in case some of you have been dealing with these same issues. Maybe you have a solid routine going, but you just need some filler items. I'm going to be talking about some redness correction products as well. And yeah, just overall kind of show you this routine. At the very least, even if you don't have redness, this would still be a really gorgeous routine to do. I've just been feeling very elegant when I wear it. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I have two products from the same brand that I have been using. So this is from EXA Beauty. I've already talked about this corrector. This is their green high fidelity color corrector. Phenomenal if you have redness. This is what I go in and kind of do some pre-priming with just to prep my skin. And then this is their primer. It's the Splash Zone Oil-Free Hydrating Primer, and it also has a slight green tint to it. I don't really feel like the green does much in terms of color correction, but it does feel very calming and very hydrating and soothing on my skin. So this is what I have been using as kind of like a prep product for the rest of my makeup. Okay, I'm gonna throw my hair up really quickly because I know you all can't deal with the hair in the face. I can't deal with the hair in the face, so it makes it harder now that I have kind of like choppy bangs here. Okay, so what I do with the EXA Fidelity color corrector is just apply where the redness is the strongest. And for me, that has been kind of in like the folds of my face and then the cheeks. It tends to like spread out on the cheeks with me right now. A little goes a long way with this product, and I just kind of tap it in with my sponge, and you can see it just creates like this veil. I will say if you have a deeper complexion, this might give you a little bit of a cast. I don't know, you can kind of see where it does lighten my skin up a bit as well, but they do have other color options that you can pick from. So really any green color corrector, if you've struggled with redness for a while, you probably have one that's your favorite. So you might be wondering like why even bother with the green color corrector, but it actually allows me to use way less foundation. And the foundation I'm wearing today is more of a fuller coverage because it's, in simple terms, kind of what I've needed to get kind of like an even tone with my makeup. If I'm using a tinted moisturizer lately, the red just kind of peeks through, and it's just not a cohesive look, especially with like my neck and the rest of my skin. It almost just looks like I have a pink undertone because the redness is visible. So this is a foundation I don't reach for often. It is beautiful though, and it, you know, when you like rediscover a foundation in your collection and you use it for a specific reason. I know a lot of you have like foundations you like to use for special occasions, your daily wear. You know, you just look at a complexion product and it has like one particular use. This is kind of how I've been looking at this foundation because it has looked so good. NARS Light Reflecting. I know this is a favorite amongst a ton of people. I know a lot of beauty influencers love this foundation. I know Allie Glines loves it. And when I first tried it, I had no issue with it. I actually thought it was really pretty as well. I just don't typically go for, you know, the fuller, um, even like medium coverage foundations. Very rare for me to use. But using this with a beauty blender is the perfect amount of coverage for me right now. It just gives me elevated coverage and it looks so beautiful. It doesn't cling to my dry areas. It's what I need right now. And so I just felt like mentioning this. And so if you feel like you're going through the same issue and you need something that has a little bit of extra coverage, but gives a beautiful skin-like finish, this is definitely one to look into. Armani, this is very similar to my Armani Luminous Silk, which we all know and love. But I would say it does have just a slight amount of extra coverage to it. So that's kind of why I've been reaching for it. Armani, beautiful light medium coverage. It can be built up. I don't like building it up though, because I feel like it takes away from the essence of the product. But this, like, beautiful, just instant medium coverage, and I don't have to build it up at all like that. I think I used 2 pumps for my entire face. I will say I think Beauty Blender is key with this product to keep a natural look. When I use a brush with it, it is just a little bit too much for me, so keep that in mind. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. I use mine in the shade 4. This is not something that I use every single day. It's just kind of something that I have been leaning towards when I do have some extra redness peeking through, and I'm very light-handed with it because it does give a good amount of coverage, but it does give me good brightness to the under eye and just kind of like overall a more smooth, like cohesive look with my makeup. I just figure, you know, if I am using a foundation that already has a good amount of coverage to it, we might as well just finish it off with a concealer that does the same. So, and I kind of just like bring it down right here because that's again where my redness is most of the time. I have finally used up my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder, and I have moved into my Rare Beauty powder for my Project Pan. So that's what I'm going to use today. It's just the one I've been currently putting in my everyday makeup bag. I like it. I have no complaints with it. I have the light shade. Honestly, I feel like the translucent would probably work even better because this does add a bit of color to my under eye, but it's not too visible. I like this. I have no problems with it. I really just use it for spot application. I'm not applying this all over my face because I do have dry textured areas. I'm really just focusing on where I put that concealer mainly. You know, I say I used up my airbrush Flawless, but I actually had a backup. So I have like a brand new one that will be ready to, you know, pop open once I probably use up the Rare Beauty. But I wanted to test something different, and this one's honestly it's been looking good. I have not been using cream bronzer. Something about my cream bronzers I just feel are bringing out the redness in my skin. And I will say I've been focusing on using up my Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, and that one does have a little bit of a red undertone. But I'm actually using powder bronzer because I feel like it kind of just helps to set the rest of my face. And something about this formula I've been using is really smooth. It's the Beauty Pie refillable bronzers. This is the lightest shade, and yeah, it just something about it has been working really well with this look I've been doing, and it just doesn't bring out the redness. I don't know. I don't know what it is about my cream bronzers right now, but I just feel like they're not helping my skin out. Also, this bronzer is so smooth that some days I forget to put my powder on and I just go in with bronzer and it's perfectly fine. Like it's never blotchy. I'm going to use my Westman Atelier cream blush in the shade Petal simply because it is ultra smooth and creamy. Like it goes on so easily. It doesn't mess with the base underneath. I do have obviously a little bit more on than what I would generally wear. So I do need something that goes on really smooth and will not disrupt what I put underneath. And this is just a beautiful formula. If you've never tried these blushes, they're stunning. I love how pigmented they are, but they also just look super natural as well. Okay, we're gonna bring in the star of the show, and I hesitated on whether to talk about this because I feel like it's a product I've talked about for years, but I feel like it's discontinued. However, I did find it on a couple of websites, so I thought I would go ahead and just mention it. Also, if you work for MAC or if you know more about MAC than I do, let me know. But it's cream color base in the shade Hush. This has honestly been like the reason I feel like my skin looks so healthy and youthful. It's because of this product. I won't say I rediscovered this. I purchased this pan actually not that long ago. I mean, it's 10 out of 10 totally expired because I know I bought it before. It was like right before I had Max. I bought a refill of this. And yeah, it just kind of, you know, been hanging out. Like I use it every now and then, but it's just kind of been like a staple on my everyday makeup bag or in my everyday makeup bag because look at it. It just brings life back to the skin. It lasts all freaking day. And it makes your face, it makes you look like you just have beautiful luminous skin. To me, this is like the original cream bronzer. I talked about this on Instagram and TikTok just a few days ago. Introduced, you know, the young girlies on TikTok to MAC cream color base and Hush because I just feel like it didn't need to be a secret anymore. And also like it very well could be discontinued. I really don't know. But this is the secret sauce for this look. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And I will be cherishing mine if it is gone. So I do want to show you the eye look I've been doing because I feel like it's equally as important and I just love this little trio. If it is not in your Sephora cart for the upcoming sale, I think it definitely should be. And it's the Kaja Bento Beauty Stack in the shade Mauve Bouquet. So it looks really like purple pink vibes. And I will say the middle shade definitely does have a little bit of a pink tone to it. I don't reach for that one as often. The main two I use are the top and bottom shade. So I'm going to start out with this matte tone, which looks very purpley, but you're going to see once I get it on the actual eye. I don't know, it's like super neutral. And with my skin tone right now, something about it I just feel like complements my skin tone. So I just apply this really delicately to my lid. I mean, it definitely has a purple vibe to it, but in like the most natural way. It actually reminds me of the old school Bare Minerals loose eyeshadow in the shade Pebble. That one was a little bit more brown, but it's kind of what this reminds me of. Okay, so I just get a little bit of color built up on the outer corner, and then I take the sparkly shade, which is gorgeous. The top shade in most of the Kaja palettes are this amazing, like creamy, super shimmery tone, but I don't go over the top with it, okay? So I just pick up the smallest amount, and this is a very interesting formula because it is almost like a cream powder hybrid, and I just like in the most delicate way apply to the bare portion of my eye. Now you could definitely build this up if you wanted to, but I like to keep it just like you can see barely there, just like a barely like slightly kissed by shimmer, you know what I mean? And the reason for that is number one, I just think it's more natural. And number two, my eyes are really sensitive right now. They also have pretty like bad eczema patches on them. And I find that when I'm super heavy with my eyeshadow, and especially if I wear a lot of glitter on my eyes, it really irritates them. So I like to keep a light hand right now with the glitter, but I will say I've worn it both ways and it's like, it's so stunning when you build it up. So you can't go wrong either way. I have a new mascara from EXA. Again, I can't remember if I mentioned EXA is made by Credo. It's their like in-house brand. So this is a new one that just came out. It's called the Lash Amplifying Mascara. It's definitely a dry formula, which is a win for me because dry just does better on my lashes. Not too bad. It's very flirty. It's very delicate. Okay, so this is 2 coats on both. Honestly, not bad. No clumping. I will say there's probably a limit to what you can build up. This is 2 coats. I don't feel like it's going to go any further, but it's holding curl pretty good. And yeah, no clumping, so can't really complain. And it does appear dark at first, but we're gonna smooth it out. It's actually a very pretty color. Okay, and then I'm gonna finish off with the ColourPop So Glassy Gloss in No Joke, just to add a little bit of pink back into the look. Okay, I think this is it. This has kind of just been like my go-to. I have been loving how the products are just sitting on my skin. It's really interesting because when I look in the mirror with this combination of products, it's almost like I see my texture less than when I don't have makeup on. So that's why I wanted to share this, because it's just been a really smooth and like confident routine for me. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these products in action. If you have a secret weapon to your eczema, redness, sensitive skin makeup routine, let me know down below, because I'm in a new era. I'm in an era where I am a sensitive skin girly. Never used to say that. I could say I was an eczema girly, but sensitive, I have to be careful like on what I'm using in regards to skincare. I haven't really made it to the makeup section of being sensitive yet, but skincare for sure, I can turn into a hot beat in like a minute. So yeah, this is just the routine I've been using to counteract everything, and I love it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.